To welcome you all to the third National Steering Committee meeting of the Open Government Partnership and the first meeting in 2018. I am particularly happy to note that the Secretariat was able to put together this meeting during this first quarter. It is a reflection of the progress that we are making to respond to the demands of the citizen. Let me also use this opportunity to congratulate all of you and to announce the recent admission of Nigeria into the Open Government Partnership International Steering Committee. We submitted our application on the 9th day of March 2018. However, I was pleasantly surprised to receive a letter shortly thereafter, precisely on 21st day of March, congratulating Nigeria as a member of the OGP International Steering Committee. It is my understanding that this was a special election and Nigeria was the only African country that applied for the position. The OGP Steering Committee has informed that this nomination will be announced soon and that Nigeria will join the International Steering Committee in October 2018, but can participate as an observer from July 2018. This year's OGP activities started in the earnest with the recognition of the fact that we have completed 1 year of the implementation of the National Action Plan and must now begin to take stock of the progress we have made as a government. Given that Nigeria is also due for international review this year, we all have a responsibility to scale up efforts to ensure that all the commitment areas in the National Action Plan are fully implemented. I am aware that all the working groups developed their 2018 action plans and have also met at least once within this first quarter. Permit me to thank our development partners, particularly the DFID, PERL, and Trust Africa, for making these meetings possible. As we get ready for the international review process, it has become critical for ministries, departments and agencies and non-state actors who work in the identified areas to invest extra resources and time to ensure that Nigeria is not rated below average. In the coming weeks, every MDA will be individually assessed to determine how they have contributed to the success of the OGP initiatives in Nigeria. Consequently, it has now become imperative that the outcome of our assessment be submitted to the President for further directives. Against this background, the OGP Secretariat has prepared a comprehensive progress report that shows the extent of the implementation of each commitment area. While we have observed considerable progress by some MDAs, we still have some MDAs that have not taken on their responsibilities as set out in the National Action Plan. I am to note that the response from Ministry of Petroleum Resources on commitments in the extractive sector has not been very encouraging. Although we had hoped that NITDA and the Federal Ministry of Communication will lead and support the development of various technology and innovation platforms as identified in the OGP National Action Plan, we are yet to see that much progress in this regard. Lack of progress is noticeable in the implementation of anti-corruption sector commitments. In addition to the challenges mentioned above, the Secretariat has also complained about lack of timely response to requests for updates on key commitment issues, as well as constant replacement of officers who are designated to coordinate OGP in the MDAs. I'm using this medium to call on ministers and heads of departments and agencies to step up their engagement with the OGP in Nigeria and to assist His Excellency the President Muhammadu Buhari in achieving the goals set out in the National Action Plan. I will urge all of us to go through the progress report attached to the speech and to engage with the OGP Secretariat to determine what is required for the effective implementation of the activities and milestones in the action plan. At the last NSC meeting, it was agreed that the OGP Secretariat would organize an OGP week in May 2018 to create awareness of OGP principles across the country. A committee was set up to develop terms of reference and to recommend to the NSC activities for the week. I understand that the committee has provided an update that is provided in the folders made available to you. It is also my understanding that the OGP International has chosen 7th to 11th day of May 2018 to celebrate the OGP week globally. In this regard, Nigeria's OGP week will also take place on the same dates. I urge all MDAs, non-state actors, and development partners to support the Secretariat to make the OGP week a success. Secondly, I wish to report that the 5th OGP Global Summit will take place from the 17th to 19th July 2018 in Tbilisi, Georgia. The President has also approved that I lead the Nigerian delegation to the summit. In order to ensure coordination of Nigeria's activities for this event, please inform the Secretariat ahead of time of your intention to participate in this summit. Finally, in order to ensure sustainability of the OGP process, the Secretariat has prepared an executive order titled Implementation of Open Government Partnership in Nigeria, which is being processed to the President for his execution, for his consideration and execution. Once the President approves it, it will form the basis for the establishment of a formal legal framework on OGP in Nigeria. I commend the Secretariat for this initiative and welcome you all to this August gathering. I thank you most sincerely for your attention.
Use effectively to improve governance generally. It has in recent times contributed immensely to the gross domestic product of the country, which is put at about 9.8% as at June 2016, compared to 6.9% in year 2012. Furthermore, foreign direct investment in this sector has increased from $32 billion in 2015 to about $38 billion in 2016. However, despite these successes, the potentials of this sector, I believe, are still not been fully harnessed. Successive governments in the country have recognized the need to use ICT to transform governance, but implementation has been with mixed results. The current administration has given a new impetus to it through the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP. The plan envisages reduction of cost of governance and leveraging technology to improve public service delivery through, among others, the implementation of e-government across MDAs. And I believe that the open government system we are craving to have is all about e-governance. Projects of the ministry with respect to OGP. The Honorable Attorney General had alluded to the fact that he feared that the ministry had not been doing much. I now want to itemize a few things that the Ministry of Communications has been able to do up to date. The ICT roadmap, which was approved by the Federal Executive Council last year, provides an outline for the development of ICT sector for the next 3 years. It also provides paths and initiatives which will transform the sector when fully implemented. ICT would serve as a catalyst for job creation, improve efficiency, and of course effective service delivery to the entire citizenry. The Federal Ministry of Communications through the e-government department, and I'm happy the Director of e-government in the ministry is here with me at this party. The ministry through this e-government department launched an initiative that involves the identification of key business processes that relates to delivery of services to citizens by various MDAs. This, it is hoped, will be achieved by deploying ICTs to provide better response to citizens' demands, improvement in service delivery, and making government more efficient and more responsive as the citizens would consequently be engaged. To this end, the ministry is developing an electronic document management system, EDMS, which once implemented would automate the entire processes in the ministry, thereby making government to be more transparent, effective, and efficient in the delivery of services to the citizens, which objective is in line with those of the Open Government Portal. The system is currently being introduced in the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, the Ministry of Budget and Planning, as well as the Federal Ministry of Communications. Once it is successfully implemented and adopted in these ministries, it would hopefully be deployed to other MDAs according to funds availability. The Open Data Initiative of the ministry has led to the development of an Open Data Portal, ODP, in 2015. The rationale behind the ODP is for MDAs to upload their non-sensitive data sets on the portal for easy access to the citizens in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. The ministry is faced with the challenge of MDAs not cooperating sufficiently to upload their non-sensitive data sets on the platform. Consequently, the ministry has initiated the process of developing an open data policy, which, when approved by the Federal Executive Council, would ensure compliance by MDAs on the ODP. The ministry has successfully conducted an open data boot camp in Lagos, where citizens were sensitized on the benefits of open data and what it could be used for. The ministry has also conducted an Open Data Action Plan meeting, where an Open Data Action Plan 2018-2020 was approved. There is also a planned National Open Data Conference in Enugu, in which a draft National Open Data Policy would be discussed and hopefully approved. The ministry, through its Government Services Portal, GSP, will thus be guaranteeing the achievement of most of the commitments in the National Action Plan. Government Services Portal was initiated as a single window portal to provide citizens of Nigeria and other stakeholders with easy and seamless access to various government services that have been automated. Currently, the e-government master plan that was developed by the ministry is at the Federal Executive Council awaiting approval. We hope within the next few weeks we will get approval of this and we will be able to make it open to all of the government of the Federation. It is a comprehensive strategy which would be used by the government in re-engineering the e-government agenda of the ministry with a view to directing the holistic and citizen-centric deployment of ICT in governance. This would undoubtedly improve public services and democratic processes, as well as strengthen support to public policies. The goal of the master plan is to strengthen transparency, efficiency, and quality of public administration service in line with the vision of the ERGP. The implementation of the master plan is a milestone for the attainment of the commitment in the National Action Plan because it seeks to develop applications and systems that are critical to the National Action Plan of the OGP. Furthermore, the Ministry launched an initiative termed Government Contact Centers, GCC. This is aimed at providing easy and convenient ways of interacting with government by the citizenry. It provides a means to directly access, interact, and engage with the access government services, interact with and access government services via communication mediums such as the telephone or the internet. This has ensured a higher level of service delivery by the government to the citizens. This is also in line with the objectives of the OGP. Of course, to ensure that the objectives of the NAP are achieved, MDAs and non-state actors must work together in a collaborative manner for the betterment of our great country. On the part of our ministry, I would ensure that necessary support is provided in the implementation of the NAP. Finally, the ministry under my watch would align its projects and activities to incorporate the objectives of the OGP. It would continuously leverage on technology in actualization of a transparent government to improve public service delivery, thus improving efficiency, transparency, accountability, and citizen participation in government. Having said that, I want to wish all participants very successful deliberations. Thank you for your patience in listening to my very, very brief remarks.
Meetings, and I've seen people actively working together, and it is because of their efforts that today we'll be able to say we have a progress report which is contained in this document that you'll be looking at today. And as the Attorney General said in his report, there's still some areas where we have not done so well. I hope we will take advantage of this meeting so that we can reinforce the commitments that we made to meeting the targets in the National Action Plan. And also to remind all of us that the progress report that we make will be submitted to the President. So he will be seeing who has made progress and who has not. I want to urge the Secretariat to make sure you are documenting the reminders that you are sending to MDAs, because some have not responded despite several attempts. Please document your responses so that at least we will be seen to have made our own best efforts, and they will know that they will be the ones that are to be held responsible. Since OGP inception in 2016, we have continued to remain committed and to achieving our ambitious and laudable achievements using different approaches that focuses ultimately on being transparent, on being accountable, and on engaging citizens. By pursuing these commitments, we must first of all seek to sustain the achievements that we have recorded so far, and secondly, we must accelerate implementation of the pending activities in a timely manner. Then let me say, please let us continue to work together so that we can report positive results. Thank you very much, everyone.
Opportunity for civil society to have opportunity to engage government at the highest level. And for us, it is an important milestone in the democratic process in Nigeria, providing the space for us to engage government at the highest level, deepening the democracy process. And I want to also use this opportunity to reaffirm our commitment as civil society to engage government at this level, and also to reassure government that as civil society, we are also willing to provide knowledge which is needed to strengthen this process. And particularly, I want to thank the Attorney General for also using this opportunity again to reassure all stakeholders in this process that government is keen to engage. And I also want to use this opportunity to thank the Minister for Communication who was here about an hour ago. It also demonstrates government's commitment to this process. Thank you, sir. And I also want to thank my colleagues who are also here who have also taken the opportunity to also engage in this process. Yesterday, we had the working group meetings, and the first time you will see the level of participation was very high, and I hope that as we proceed, we will be able to use the opportunity to also share the outcome of that working group meeting of yesterday. And at the end of the day, we are able to again strengthen our commitment to implement the National Action Plan. God bless you all.